Hey.
Dope intro.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
How you be?
I'm great.
You know, listen, I'm pretty sure you guys are very familiar with this face.
Oh,
right
I hope
here.
so. That's like an amazing thing to say.
I don't think she needs too much of an introduction,
That's
but
great.
I'll let you introduce yourself in a moment.
Okay.
Let me introduce myself first. Welcome to another episode of The Ignorance is Free. It's your boy, Chris Green. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at The Ignorance is Free with a Z, and on Twitter at I'm Chris Green. I try to, they say like when you get your social media together, you want to have everything all the same, right?
Yeah,
Like
consistent.
consistency.
Yeah.
I tried doing that, and believe it or not, The Ignorance is Free, well, I guess it's not that hard to believe, is an available Twitter handle. But like you can only have so much like letters or whatever for your Twitter handle.
Okay, so
so
it's
I
too
can't
long.
I can't get it.
Too bad.
Yeah, so I got to use my fucking government name. So hopefully,
Oh, yeah, that's
any
too bad.
future employees or employers don't, trace this shit back to me. Anyways, please, without any further introduction, the guest of the
I
hour.
am Nisa Hott.
Nisa Hott.
H-O-T-T, two T's.
What's with the two T's? I was always wondering that. What's the deal?
Funny enough, when I actually chose, because I'm one of those people, when I came up with the name Nisa Hott,
Yeah.
I actually wanted to have a website that was hot.com.
Okay.
And just thought that like Hott looked more like a last name, like an official last name.
Yeah.
So I
You
just
just said,
added
fuck
a
it,
T.
just adding an extra
Yeah.
T. So, the whole time when I seen, and maybe this is just me being stupid, I always thought it was Nessa. Why did I think it Nessa?
I don't know.
I don't know. I was
I
like,
have no idea.
like when I called you, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, you may not even have noticed it because I'm like, I'm just going to
Yeah.
talk to you, but I'm not going to call you really by your name. And just kind of slide
That's
through there.
hilarious.
But anyway, so the reason, I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious why I wanted to have you down here, but more specifically, because you're popping. Oh, and as a matter of fact, you never plugged your social media.
I'm popping.
You're popping, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Plug the social media, please.
So it's
Forgot your
I
social
think
media.
because I changed, it's Hott TV on
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
And it's Hott TV and Nisa Hott on Twitter. I've got two separate accounts.
Again, yeah, and you are popping. You're out here. You're doing your thing. Shop Talk,
Thank
by the
you.
way, is dope.
Thank you very much.
The link for her show and all her social media will be in the description. So make sure you guys
Dope.
subscribe and check that out.
Dope.
But outside of that, the reason why I wanted you here was because you have some interesting. No, scratch that. You have a disappointing take on Kanye
This is
West.
funny. This is very
And
funny.
we're going to get into that. And obviously, really what I'm talking about specific, because he said a lot of fuckery,
Sure.
in 2018. But we're going to talk specifically about the Trump meeting.
Okay.
And he's even said crazier shit since then, if you could believe that. But I think before we get into that, though, I wanted to, because before we sat down, you're like, oh, bum, did you listen to the Joe Budden podcast with Pusha T? And I do, because we're from Toronto, so I only feel that it's necessary that we talk about that a little bit. So I'm going to quickly play the one part of the clip that I found interesting,
Okay.
and then we could just kind of bubble off that. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect.
All right, cool. Let's rock on that.
The information came from 40. It didn't come from Kanye. At all.
Okay.
40 is sleeping with a woman who begins to, he talks to her daily, 5-6 hours a day.
Oh, she must have a great personality.
Yeah, bruh. Come on. Listen, talks to a woman 5-6 hours a day, provides opportunity for her.
Provides opportunity
for
Oh,
her.
he's a great guy.
And ultimately speaks about how he's disgruntled about certain things, notoriety and things involving Drake and his career, so on and so forth.
To this young lady.
Yes.
Okay.
With that also came the fact that Drake has a child. With that also came the trip that everybody took to go see the child and bring them gifts and all of this information.
This
She
girl has a
divulged
great
this information.
She has a great personality.
That's where it came from. Now,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, first of all, if I have to be totally honest,
Yeah.
I really don't give a fuck about the Drake Pusha T battle anymore. I think it's ridiculous that it's still being talked about. Really, I think I don't know. I don't know who's using it as a catalyst.
I feel like some important things were cleared up. I'm glad that since we didn't get like a diss track back from Drake, I'm kind of glad that he sat down with LeBron James. And I'm glad that Pusha then stepped forward and further cleared things. So I'm okay with
further. But did he further
what we've gotten from them?
But did he further clear it, or now just kind of try to instigate it a little bit further? Because that's a really huge accusation. He's saying his man's. I know,
but it's not
leaked the information.
It's not that huge and it's not that far fetched because a lot of guys. I mean, I've had a lot of guys kind of talk to me about like their friendship drama and stuff that's going on. It's just the way to vent. You know what I mean? It's like if you're in like a relationship and you've got a good woman like that, you should be doing that. You know what I mean?
You should be doing what?
Well, basically, like just like being able to vent it's. I'm thinking that the only problem is that like 40 trusted somebody that he probably shouldn't have trusted
the wrong person.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if
that's
you're
natural,
right? And especially if you're 40, if you're in that circle, don't you think that the information should be kept inside that circle?
No,
Shouldn't be leaked at all?
No, if you're sleeping with somebody or you've got like an intimate, like a friendship with somebody, and you're sleeping with them and stuff. If you're stressed out and if Drake is like pissing you off, you're gonna want to tell somebody about it. You know what I mean? And usually. Like
so you don't think that's bitch tendencies?
No, I don't think so.
Well, the reason that
I know guys. Most of the guys that I've been with,
damn,
the relationships. I'm not even like that. I'm actually like the sweetest little virgin in the world. But the relationships that I've been with, and also my close male friends, usually like. They divulge stuff. I mean, stuff about people that I don't even know about or care about. You know what I mean?
But it's just a way to vent. But that's weird because I'm okay. Let's keep it within the context of the clip. 40. I guess he was really tight with this girl or whatever, right? Yeah. So if he's really tight with her and he trusts her, this is potentially, or I guess, a relationship. Isn't Drake going to be around that girl? Isn't that going to be weird? Why would you want that for your mans? Like, I'm not going to go to my wife and talk shit or whatever like that about my friend.
Never?
No.
Huh, that's interesting.
Well, now let me clear that up.
Yeah.
Of course I vent to my wife about my dickhead associates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's my man's and I know my man's is going to come around my woman, and I'm not going to say some shit that's going to make it weird for her to be around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just creates a weird dynamic. So first of all, to be honest with you, I don't even think that 40 did that shit.
Oh, I definitely think he did.
You think he did?
Yeah, and I think the tell is Push talking about them bringing gifts. Because that's the detail. That's the detail that Drake wouldn't have told Kanye. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that's the tell. I think it definitely happened.
So what do you think about like the women who kind of skin out them bati and show their, basically they flaunt their either financed assets or God-given assets for fame and attention and to be IG famous. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's smart if you can profit off of it. I think it's a bit sadder if you're just doing it for likes.
Okay. And the reason I asked that, because I watched you did an interview, we talked about it earlier too, Paris Richards.
That's right.
And shout out to Paris Richards.
Paris.
And you said something along the lines of, or she may have initiated it or insinuated it and said that stripping is like the female hustle. Like,
that's right.
Like dudes get to drug deal and women
it's not
get to
necessarily
strip.
But yeah, it's the female equivalent to it's the female hustle, I guess. So if, selling drugs or juggling, whatever you want to call it, is the male hustle kind of in hip hop, then like stripping would be like the female hustle. I compared it. I was more focusing on the whole kind of rags to riches aspect of it, and kind of women in stripping kind of having I'm not saying to respect them the same way. I'm just saying the story is basically the same. The same way you would respect a guy from kind of, making it off of the streets into becoming like a hip hop artist is the same way we can respect the Cardi B's and the Paris Richards that are, stepping out of the clubs and becoming like MCs.
Right.
So it's basically the same story.
I get that. And I could respect the come up 100%. And at the same time too, before I even make my comment, like I'm a fan of strippers. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, would you want your daughter to become a stripper?
Would I want my daughter to become a stripper?
Not, and to clear that up, I'm not asking would you accept it. I'm asking you, would you want your daughter to grow up and say, I want to be a stripper?
No. But I mean, like, I've hung out at strip clubs. Like, I've met some amazing people. Like, I had a really good time at a strip club. I don't doubt it. Like, those girls, a lot of those girls are, this is it. Okay, so this is how I feel about stripping. A lot of the women that I saw there, they're just trying to survive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's really hard nowadays to feed yourself. So I don't have anything against stripping. If my daughter, God forbid, was in a position where she had to hustle and that was that was the choice or one of the choices that she felt like she had to make in order to survive, then I would have nothing to say about it. But that would also be like a failing on my part.
You take it as an L as a parent, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not going to shit on those girls. I like a lot of those girls that I've met. Those are like some of the coolest flipping, down to earth chicks that I've ever met. So
for me personally, I'm dead against that. What are your thoughts on something like the slut walk?
You're not that dead against it if you said that you enjoy stripping and stuff. Okay, slut walk is a completely separate issue for me. Slut walk, I don't rate that. You know what I mean? I'm not for women calling themselves sluts and celebrating promiscuity, but I'm also a Muslim woman, so I've got different standards. And
right.
I'm a lot more conservative when it comes to
that. Did you say that you're Muslim?
I am. So it's just different.
So, I mean, it's weird though, because, and again, I'm here to learn too, right?
Yeah.
Like I love it when I get to interact with other religions because I get to learn, and I'm really fascinated by the Muslim religion. Yeah. So, I mean, and you use the word conservative, right? So, isn't it like
relatively
okay, fine.
conservative?
Because I was going to say it's a little hypocritical
in comparison. No,
I was going to say it's a little hypocritical when you talk about like the stripping and then the being a slut, because when I say being a slut, like these people doing the slut walk and everything, they're out there and they're claiming it. But I mean, strippers, they're out there and they're claiming it.
A woman that's stripping isn't necessarily a slut or necessarily.
I didn't say that.
With the men, I know. I'm just clarifying.
Okay,
isn't necessarily sleeping with the men that they're entertaining. I feel like though to kind of call yourself a slut and to promote women being promiscuous is a different thing. And I understand like there's a gray area with that. Like I've never really understood where Amber Rose is coming with the slut walk. Like I've never heard it at least properly explained in a way that I understood and supported completely. I do support her I do support her not being okay with the double standard when it comes to like men and women and stuff like that.
I agree with that. I agree with
that. But then again, I'm not saying women should be out there and, go, sleep with 100 men because you're just as free as a man.
You're allowed to. It works. Basically, it's the same thing. So if you had a son, you would say the same thing to your son. Don't slut around, pretty much.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think promiscuity is a problem. It's just as bad for men as it is for women. Like I don't have like a different standard.
I wanted to get into before we get into the whole Kanye West thing, because that's essentially what we're here to talk about.
Okay.
I want to talk about you a little bit. So I did a little bit of research on you. I know you
went, cool. This is great.
I know you went to school. You went to, where is it, Ryerson?
That's right.
Yeah. And I know from when we talked earlier as well, like back at the radio station, we clicked up at 89.5.
Yeah.
And I was trying to pick your brain about how you got the show on Rogers, on Rogers Cable.
Yeah.
So for me, like that was dope. I always actually watched that show with my wife. I'm like, shit, I want to get on that show. I need to reach out to this girl. So I mean, just for the fans out there, and you may have already explained this on your platform. I'm sure you have, but for the fans out there that wonder, like, what happened to that show? happen to that show?
So Rogers TV, they changed basically where their funding was being pushed to. So they basically closed down their community programming in Toronto, and now that funding is being given to Omni Television, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it at all possible for you to get it another show on Omni at all? Or?
I've pitched. I believe I pitched Hott TV. I definitely pitched Shop Talk to Omni, and they felt like it wasn't multicultural enough, which is crazy. But
multicultural enough.
I know.
Have they seen the cast?
Really, really. I guess they're looking for maybe other languages or.
Do you think that that's what it is? Sure. Like that they're really just looking for? It's just diversity. They just want to push.
It's haterations.
Why?
Because
what do you
even
mean?
after, anyways, I'm not going to get into the political side of it.
Why
but
hateration? I mean, it's
whatever.
important. Well,
yeah,
you know why?
I feel like both shows are actually really important for the community, and Toronto television should definitely support both shows. But I've had a problem like after Rogers kind of getting the support from other broadcasters.
What do you think? They blacklisted you?
Blacklisted.
Put you on that nigga list.
I'm not worried about being blacklisted.
No, the reason I asked and the reason I wanted you to talk about that a little bit is because I do think it's important that I thought it was dope to actually see like local rappers on TV.
Amen. I know.
You know what I mean? Like it'll be one thing where it's like, oh, hey, go to YouTube. Here's the link.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I know.
But when you got to see your mans on TV, that was a big deal.
And the feedback that I got back from a lot of people is that it was so nice for their families to see them. You know what I mean? Because then it looks like, like I'm making moves and I'm actually like out here doing stuff. You know what I mean? Listen, I know. I wish people would like start a petition or something because I'd be glad to be back on.
So what is it that you're trying to do now? Again, I know you have the Shop Talk and I know that's the baby, but where are we trying to take it now?
I love that you would ask that. So Shop Talk is forever.
Okay.
Like actually both Shop Talk and Hott TV are forever. They're like major parts of my life and stuff like that. But my dream for Hott TV has been to go global. Like that's been like a dream of mine. God bless me. I'm actually financially in a better position right now to like pursue that. But so that's what's next for Hott TV. So it'd be great to do like it'd be great to go like everywhere. You know what I mean? Like basically wherever hip hop's had like an impact.
So when you say global, I mean, do you mean global like online, send a massive tweet, or like what steps like would you have?
I mean like actually physically doing what I do in Toronto. So that's basically covering like urban arts and entertainment. So like, you know, people in fashion, people in graffiti, you know, different charities and stuff like that are kind of anything that kind of fits under the umbrella of hip hop.
Okay.
And then just exploring that like anywhere else in the world.
So how would you do that? Would you just say, fuck it, I'm hopping on a plane. Yeah. There's an event and I'm just going to bust out the camera.
Exactly. I shoot both like Hott TV and Shop Talk on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
I know this is a rare treat. Like she's never really in front of the camera, people.
That's a fact.
She's really behind the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I can ask, so what's prevented you from doing that? From just saying fuck it, I'm gonna just go to NY, or fuck it, I'm gonna go to LA, or
you know what,
just get on a plane. What's prevented
it's really just been financial. If you look back at my older footage when I kind of was like I had the money to just do like whatever I wanted to do, I was everywhere. I was like chasing Nas all over the world. It's like check the tapes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's really just finances. How do you make sure that
you're a one woman company essentially?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's real. I mean, and I can relate to that. So basically, once the situation or it might be different, then you'll be able to kind of pursue it and take it to the level that you want to. Why not start like a GoFundMe?
I started a GoFundMe and and I mean like
niggas ain't
and this
funded.
is when I was exactly. This is when I was still on TV, and it just took I don't know, maybe I just made the goal too large or didn't explain it like enough.
Now this could be
folks is like, oh, she's trying to come up. This bitch is trying to come up. She want a new G. Yeah.
So hold up, wait a second. And this is my own fault. What was the goal?
Okay.
Like
so I was gonna exactly. No, it was exactly $40,000.
It was 40 bands? Oh shit.
It was. Right. But I was going to go to I had it all laid out. So I wanted to do Jamaica, Brazil, France, Japan, South Africa, Just kind of anywhere hip hop was like, I felt like definitely at the hood. Like I'm so attracted.
Why do you want to go to the block? Why do you want to go?
I love the hood. Really, what it was, and it's funny because I tell this story. You know, some kids from the hood like go to like, you know, the farm or wherever for summers. I would actually like leave the suburbs and go to like the hood for the summers. Like my favorite cousins and my favorite aunts, like they lived like in Tobermory and like Jane and Finch and stuff like that. So that was always lit to me. Like the hood has always been like lit life. And plus, you know, like growing up in Toronto, like everything is about what hood does your boyfriend come from? Like everything is about hood.
So you just wanted to come back to the Birds and be like, yo, I love
hood life. I don't care. I love hood life. I love hood life. And I noticed that like hood life is like similar, like wherever you go around the world, like you find like similar people, similar vibe and stuff like that. So I just want to go and like, I want to go and kind of examine the impact that hip hop has had globally because it's huge. Right. Hip hop, especially on my life, hip hop has impacted like just every aspect, fashion, religion, you know, just
what
like
age
everything.
Did you start listening to hip hop?
What age wasn't I listening to hip hop? The first like official tape that I remember was like my mom's Run DMC tape. God and that was like the blue tape.
Oh my God.
So like, you know, like there was a song like, you know, Shut Up that I used to like love as a little kid. I thought that was like the best thing in the world.
Did you ever write rhymes? She wrote rhymes.
I write, for sure. There's no way you can love this culture this much and not write.
Have you ever did a song before?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have. I'm actually thinking, no, what's so funny is I've been watching YouTubers. You know how there's like a whole other like, you know, Jake Paul and like there's a whole other... They're flipping rapping and doing this shit. I'm going to start rapping. I don't even care. No, I'm going to start rapping now. I'm actually going to like officially like start rapping. I was like inspired. I was like, nah, these kids are getting too lit out here. So yeah, I write. I actually consider myself a poet. Like my truest voice is like poetry. So.
Have you ever done any like slam poetry?
No, but funny story about slam poetry.
Keep in mind, I have no idea what slam poetry is. I just heard it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, I'm just considering it like a spoken word event, right?
Okay.
So I actually began, but I originally wanted to just be, before I like got into videography and stuff like that, I was a poet. Like I wrote and stuff like that. I had an audience and stuff, like fans, like online fans. And
hold up.
Yeah.
Poetry.
Yeah. Or my first love. Also because I grew up just, you know, like loving Nas and loving lyricists and stuff like that and kind of wanting to be a part of hip hop, but not really having like, maybe because I always respected like more of like the street, the grimier hip hop. I didn't really have that story. So like,
you just had your summers.
I said it was poet. I'll just be a poet.
Can we hear a little something?
Sure.
All right.
So like I said, I used to have like this little following and stuff, and there was like this one kid named like Al that was like my first like fan and stuff.
Al?
Yeah, he was like, you know, oh, you're the best, like just always gassing me up. I love this kid to this day, just constantly gassing me up and stuff.
I think everybody needs an Al when they wake up in the morning,
right?
Just to get them hype.
Honestly, I tried to play that role for a few people.
Yeah.
So this is called Anatomy of a Cheat. So. Anatomy of a cheat. Let's start at the feet. You step softly, move quickly, and perfected your creep. Knees calloused over from the times that you plead. Thighs lap dance strong, a major weakness, a strip tease. You say the dick is mine, but give it out to who needs. I love starting on your stomach, sucking tattoos to tease.
Oh boy.
My name's carved on your chest. I don't know how you leave. Staring at your neck is best. I cry when you sleep. How can lips betray me and change the way that I breathe? Sorry. I should recite more.
That's a really good. That was actually pretty
it's
dope,
actually
man.
really dope.
That was pretty dope.
I got some dope ones.
Gonna front.
I got some dope ones.
Like I honestly wanted to, because I was getting my hate gun ready, and I had to put it back in the holster. That was actually kind of dope.
No, I used to like I got some good ones. If you like check out my YouTube, I got like 2 really dope ones.
All right.
There.
2 out of like what, 1,000?
No, like there's just 2 like recorded ones. I've actually my pen is actually really good. Like I used to battle and stuff online too.
What?
Like never lost a battle or anything.
Wait,
Yeah,
like battle? Like wait, do poets battle?
Battle writing.
Do poets battle? Like is that?
Yeah,
a thing?
they do. No. Well, at that
Like,
time, well, just like whatever, just like on those little hip hop sites that I used to go on.
Yo, that's fucking funny.
Like the biggest hip hop nerd. But yeah.
Okay, listen. I really got to get into this.
Okay, the Kanye?
This Kanye shit.
Yeah.
Really, what I was gonna do was I'm just gonna play you.
Oh God.
Here's the thing. Kanye actually said some good stuff.
I know.
When he sat down with Trump.
Yes, he did.
He did. So what I was gonna do, I kind of edited it. Like I took like the good stuff he said, and then I took all the bad stuff he said.
Okay.
I'm just gonna play it back to back.
Okay.
And then we'll just talk about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You're not expecting me to answer for Kanye's opinions, though.
No, I mean you're not Kanye West,
justify
right? But like I
Kanye's
just want to hear like why you're pro Kanye and why.
Okay.
There's a bunch of these people out there that is like championing him. I don't.
I can't speak
You know, he
for-
said he wants to fucking turn Uganda into like fucking Wakanda or Jurassic Park, right? You know, he said that.
Sound bites. I can't speak for like why anybody else supports him, so I don't want to be necessarily lumped into like a group of like those people that are like pro Kanye.
But that's the group.
But I'm happy that there are people that still support him. I guess maybe the reasons why we support him probably vary. Or
Okay.
like my reasons for supporting him. Or maybe I just don't want to be lumped into a group that you're kind of dismissing.
What, like the pro Kanye group?
Yeah.
Listen, if you're pro Kanye,
with the air quotes.
if you're pro Kanye, you are in this group. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I'm
so
in the group.
Let's get into the clips.
Yes.
And we'll get into it.
Okay.
So it's very important for me to get Hoover out because in an alternate universe, I am him. We had a meeting in Chicago, and I said, you have to bring manufacturing onshore, not even shore, into the core. It's not about the borders, the core of Adidas. And Chicago is the core of Middle America. We have to make Middle America strong. Said, ask about stop and frisk. That's the number one thing that we're having this conversation about. Brought some hats in that have a bit of a transition. I'm not trying to put you up there a spot a little bit. I made a hat that says "Make America Great," just that. But I would love to see at the Super Bowl Trump wearing the "Make America Great" hat, Colin wearing the "Make America Great," and showing that we can bend a bit on this side. We can bend a bit on this side.
Those are the things that I liked.
Okay, great. Sorry to interrupt. Did you hear his new song? Love is the new money. Love is the new money.
Oh God, no! I don't listen to Kanye West anymore. I
Oh,
refuse
it's
to
like
put
the
any.
best.
I refuse to put any money in his pockets until I get a sincere
that's,
apology from him.
About what?
Well, we'll get into that in a moment.
Okay.
Let's talk about the positive things that he actually said in his meeting with Trump.
Okay.
I liked that. You know, the whole MAGA hat thing is huge to me. Like, I don't really think that that's something that he should be wearing.
Okay.
And because it's "Make America Great Again," like you said, like black people are like, what the fuck does again mean? I think anybody would ask that question because we already know the answer. Trump is like 70 years old. You got to consider the time when Trump grew up. You understand what I'm saying? Like when Trump grew up and he was a kid and his dad was raising him and, you know, showing him what's what.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the best time for people with melanin in their skin.
For sure.
So when Trump says "Make America Great Again," he's referring to that time, whether they want to admit it or not. So I like the fact that Kanye came in and he was just like, yo, look, I think that we should make a little change to the hat and just make America great. And I do like the you know, the fact that he is trying to bring people together.
So you've forgiven him for the hat,
No.
but you're okay with him bringing the new hat.
I like the new hat idea.
Okay, but you don't.
No, him wearing the hat is ridiculous. But we'll get into that. Again, I want to focus on the good things that he said.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm also cool with the right to bear arms. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you can't take away somebody's rights because if you do that, where does it end?
Yeah, that's American.
You know what I mean? I liked that he talked about bringing jobs back.
Necessary.
Super necessary. You know, he was talking about bringing jobs back specifically to Chicago, you know, because his Yeezys and everything like that. So it would be dope for somebody from Chicago to be able to put a factory there and employ people.
Yeah.
I like that as well.
Yeah.
You know, chime in anytime you want, like anything that you liked specifically from his meeting with Trump.
Okay. So, yeah, basically everything you're talking about. Employment. I liked him talking about pardoning Larry Hoover.
Yeah.
And kind of talking about how in an alternate universe, and basically meaning like, you know, when you say in another life, but in an alternate universe, this is somebody who he could have easily been Larry Hoover. And
Yeah, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying.
In prison.
Could use a better choice of words, though. Doesn't necessarily help his narrative.
Well, he's just being creative.
You know, sometimes
you tell me. I mean,
you know,
maybe we actually should just start off with the stuff that we don't agree with, or the stuff that you're not agreeing
Well,
with.
no, because I don't want to come off like I'm totally like anti something. He has some good ideas.
And this is why I've taken the position. That I've taken, because we can't. I feel like his ideas were being overlooked, being buried, and there was like a clear agenda. And then when everybody started jumping on this whole Kanye West is crazy, don't listen to Kanye West, and you're seeing it on CNN and CBC, and you're hearing it on the radio, and everybody's tweeting it, that's when it becomes like, okay. As soon as it becomes like that, that's when I know I have to stop and like look at it and start seeing, like thinking for myself and thinking differently.
Agreed. You know, but the thing is, though, is it's about the messenger. You know what I mean? Kanye West isn't really, I don't think anyways, I don't think he's the right messenger for this person. I don't think he's a good catalyst for this. For change. For the stuff he's talking about, I think while a lot of people sit back and talk about change, and change is kind of like this theoretical thing, I think he's actually making a difference. How?
Like with everything he's done. By creating the way he creates, the way we saw him release all those albums.
What?
What
does that have to do with
anything?
anything?
I'm just talking about all of like his creativity.
No,
the way he's able to.
No. See, let's not convolute the issue, because we're talking. Politics.
Okay, I'm talking about why I have faith in his. If he says that he can bring about change, I'm telling you why I have faith in his ability to change. So just like we've seen him produce, is my point. We've seen him produce. We've seen him produce clothing. We've seen him produce music. We've seen him produce, and we've seen his creativity, like, and we've seen him push like just boundaries. Other than the Ye album, some people are like on the fence with, but we've seen him just change the genre every time he came out, right? So it's for that reason that, and I'm also just like impressed with what he wants to do with Donda. Like, have you seen the Donda chart? And his dream for like what he wants to do with Donda in terms of like it being hospitality, and basically everything that he's doing now is just there's some more like rings that he has to add to it.
Right.
So I believe in his dream. We've seen him bring a lot of things to fruition. We might not agree with his politics, but I believe his intentions are sincere. So then when I see that there's like a media campaign to kind of weaken his resolve, I become defensive, because as a Black woman, I want to believe, and I want my children to believe, that anything is possible and that change is possible. You don't have to look or sound a certain way to bring about change. He has power, and he's been given a voice at his level, and he speaks to a lot of people. It might not necessarily be my politics or your politics, but he wants to make a difference. So I support that. And that's fair. But when you say that, like,
you know, he has, I guess, like a proven track record of like, you know, he's created great things. Like,
Yeah.
you've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? That's like in fashion, in music, you know, creative. And
Yeah.
that's fair. I like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But I mean, in this realm, he doesn't have that. And better men have tried and failed.
Better men, lesser men are actually sitting in the White House and are in power.
That's a different conversation altogether.
I thought we were talking politics.
We are, but I'm talking
Okay.
about a black person, you know, trying to make a difference, trying to sit down with the president, trying to sway the president, trying to, you know, get them to initiate things and get
Yeah.
things done in our community that affects us.
Okay.
Better men have tried and failed.
Okay.
So what makes you think Kanye West can do that? Somebody who literally just said, hey, you know what? I love everyone now. Kanye has never shown really any, you know, the nigga don't really read, right? You know, like he just started watching the news, right? Like it's cool to be passionate. Like
just like you, I can't speak to how often or what Kanye reads or how often he's.
but he
watching
says this.
the
But
news or
he said
anything.
this. But he said this.
Oh,
So-
I don't know. I've never heard him say that.
Okay, I'll put the clip in. He said
Okay.
that. He said
Okay,
that.
I'm
So
just saying.
I guess what I'm trying to say though is, yeah, you're right. He's passionate, and I'm not. I don't want to come across and say his intent isn't genuine or sincere. I'm just saying, like, he's the wrong person to try to be doing this.
And I'm
People
saying,
don't take him serious.
And I'm saying the right person is the person that has the desire in their heart. That's who the right person is.
okay.
The
So,
fact that he wants to make a change, and the fact that
but that doesn't
Are you
mean
guys
a
listening to
change
what
is
he's
gonna.
saying?
But that doesn't mean a change is gonna happen. though.
okay, but exactly. Even if it's the quote unquote right person, it doesn't mean that a change is going to happen. The
So-
fact that he has it in his heart is admirable, and we need to support that, not squash it.
Okay, so wait a second. So basically, just somebody saying, "Yeah, okay, you know what?
No.
I do want things to be better." That's enough.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying somebody with a track record like Kanye and the courage like Kanye to kind of, you know, go against the grain and to stand up what he believes in, even though the world is doubting him. Somebody like that can affect change.
So
for
do you
sure.
think that there is more like there would have been a better person to sit down with Trump other than Kanye
Yeah.
West?
For sure. And I think for a long time, politicians haven't been sitting down with the our leaders, you know what I mean, or people that are most articulate, or just basically people that are actually in the communities leading. That's been a problem. That's before Trump and Kanye.
So why would Kanye West choose? Like, in my opinion, my view of it, given that the midterms are coming up,
He should have given his spot to somebody else.
absolutely. I feel that that Trump and that, you know, that whole everyone, like, they were basically just trying to use him to try to reel in some black voters. That's basically what I think. Everybody says, hey, Trump's a racist, Trump is this, Trump is that. Well, guess what? Kanye West likes me, so I'm not that bad. And at the end of the day, like, if you have an opportunity for somebody to go sit down and represent our community and talk about the things that we need to get done, and you're sitting down with the president, you know, it may or may not get done. I mean, people have tried it before. Shit, that
Exactly.
Barack was the fucking president and nothing really got done.
Talk about it.
So what I'm trying to say though is every time you have an opportunity to step up and sit down and speak with a person in a position of power, whether they're the right person or not, why? If President Trump said, Chris, come sit down and talk to me about your community, I'll say no.
It's
I
the
would
same
say-
reason why all the candidates, you know, the same reason why Hillary was doing the Dougie or whatever dance she was doing. They feel like entertainment is paramount to our community. So that's why they go after our entertainers to kind of get our attention.
You think that's why Trump called in Kanye West, Steve
That's
Harvey?
why
All
Trump
that?
calls in those guys. That's why Obama called in that group of hip hop artists that he did. That's why Hillary. You've even got the woman from Sex and the City. She was at like some hip hop concert.
Cynthia
Yeah.
Nixon.
So, you know, they're always kind of going after the music side, making sure that they've got the music industry.
100%,
covered when it comes to us.
100% agree with that. You'd be silly not to do that. But when you're having a meeting or a lunch to talk about actual issues. It wasn't like, hey, come to this photo op, let's take some pictures.
I'm not
we're
sure.
cool.
I'm not sure how it was planned. I know that it was or I had heard later that it was something that Kanye actually put together, and he was hoping that Colin Kaepernick could be there
too,
which is unfortunate, because that would have actually been kind of cool to like see what could have come from that. But I think Ye did a good job. I think in terms of like, you know, his ability, I think he did a good job. He presented a whole bunch of different issues that he felt were important. Is he going to cover everything? No.
So let's listen to some of the stuff that I thought was absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah.
Just was not a fan of it at all. Let's take some of that stuff in.
I've had conversations that basically said that welfare is the reason why a lot of black people end up being Democrats. I did say abolish with the hat on. This right here is the I-plane one. At any given point, we say, oh, this is racist, this is racist, this is racist, this is racist. Now, I think it would be cool for them to be Trump factories because he's a master of industry. He's a builder. Play basketball while you're doing math. You said, yes, you know I love you.
I know.
Did I?
But I don't want to put you in that spot. But.
No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
Yeah. Come here. That's really nice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very special. Very, very, very special.
Okay.
You know, it really was hard to watch it. Like, I'm not trying to take words out of Don Lemon's mouth because he went ham on him.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, it really was hard to watch it.
I'm super critical of people's behavior, and I love, you know, like an articulate person and a well, you know, articulated thoughts. So for sure, it was, some parts were difficult for me to watch, but that doesn't take away from the fact that like the media chopped up those sound bites, and then the campaign became Kanye's crazy, you know, Kanye's a coon, Kanye's, so like that stuff, I resented. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why I took the position that I took. So
nothing in that was cooning to you?
I didn't come away feeling like Kanye was a coon. For me, I know that Kanye feels like he's being evolved by caring about Trump. It's basically the same way I've taken this position to support Kanye despite what people are saying about him. Kanye also feels like a champion for being able to support Trump despite what everybody's saying about him.
What about the things that Trump actually did?
You would have to talk to Kanye about that. You would have to sit down.
Well,
because I'm sure
I don't
if
have
you
to talk to Kanye about that,
no,
I can
I'm just
talk
saying
to somebody who backs him because, okay.
I'm just sure that if you sat down and like categorically broke down for Kanye everything that Trump has done and the effects that it's had, he would have a problem like most of us. You know what I mean? Like,
but why? But I mean, but that, like, you're making my point for me. Kanye West has a TV. Kanye West has access to the internet. All he has to do is just open his eyes and just, you know, tap his ears and listen.
I think his
to what Trump has done.
Greater mission is to overcome all the hate that's been thrown Trump's way. So I think despite whatever we might show Kanye about Trump, he might be determined to kind of take the other way and just be like, I support him.
So Trump, the guy who, you know, spearheaded, you know, taking kids away from their parents and locking them in cages. Trump, the guy who, you know, basically talks about grabbing women by the pussy. He's been accused of so much. We don't have the time to go over the long list of the women who's accused him. Trump, the guy who endorsed Roy Moore, the person who allegedly, but do the research, but I'll say allegedly assaulted an underage girl. Trump, Brooklyn 5. So really quickly, 5 black people from Brooklyn got locked up because they apparently raped some white woman. And Trump took out a full fucking page ad in the New York Times. This is back in the day. That shit was not cheap. Calling for the death penalty. So when they were proven innocent, still no apology, nothing. So all these things, this is not somebody that you should want to align yourself with. And what I'm trying to say, and I get what you're saying, well, that's Kanye West, but I'm trying to say, why would you champion someone that's so basically, so what you're saying is if I have a Kanye brain, right? And I love everyone.
Yeah.
I love everyone. So I'm looking past all the hate and the shade and all the bullshit that Hitler did. You could fuck with me then because I love Hitler I'm looking past everything.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I don't think we can necessarily like apply the Hitler analogy. I'm thinking,
why not?
Kanye, because he's not thinking further than himself and what he's trying to.
Who's not thinking further than himself?
I don't believe Kanye. I believe Kanye's support for Trump and his love for Trump is no greater than him being like, I'm going to think for myself. Meaning I'll be a rebel against what most people are saying. And this is somebody that people are choosing to hate that I'm going to now go against the grain and support. So I don't think Kanye, I mean, like you said, they're all deplorable acts, but I don't think Kanye, I mean, I can't speak for Kanye.
But I'm not asking you to. I'm trying to understand how you're championing him.
Well, you're villainizing Trump. Trump has nothing to do with Kanye other than Kanye. I can't explain why Kanye supports Trump, but I can explain to you why I support Kanye. And I did. His intentions are good. This isn't a bad person. This is somebody who has a platform, has a voice, has power, has been demonized, but has good intentions. That's why I support Kanye. It's simple. But all the clips that you were able to pull out at the beginning, for that reason, and because I believe in his vision.
Yeah, but how could his intentions be good if he's aligning with someone like himself with someone like that? That makes no sense to me.
There are all sorts of paradoxes that exist in the world. We're seeing it. His intentions are good, and he's aligned himself with somebody whose intentions aren't always necessarily good.
The crazy thing is though, is I believe he has good intentions, but at the same time, and I know I said this earlier, and I might have to pull it back then. Yeah. But at the same time, I also think he's really just thinking of himself.
Most of us are.
So what I'm saying though is he can't go into and sit down and speak with the president and represent our community when you're really just looking out for yourself.
I don't think he would never, and he'd be a fool too. Trump would be a fool too. Think that Kanye represents all of us.
Oh, come on, man. Why do you think he was there? We just said it earlier. We said that we know these political figures, they align themselves with these artists and everything because they know it's going to give them a little bit of light, towards our community. Yeah. You knew what he was doing?
I know, but I mean, we're so ridiculous with how much expectations we put on our celebrities.
I'm not putting any... Oh,
in terms of like what we expect Kanye to do, he went up there and he said as much. He spoke about education reform. He spoke about prison reform. Like he did his part and some extras. So what do you expect from him? Like just especially politically, this isn't somebody that's
why he should have turned it down. He should have never went.
He has ideas and he voiced his ideas and they might seem far-fetched to some. And it might also seem out of place. But you know what's funny? Creatives have always been a part of community planning. And creatives are an important part of community planning. And Trump's or any president's like connection and involvement to the people shouldn't like necessarily begin or end with entertainers. But entertainers can be a part of the conversation. And especially with somebody with an imagination like Kanye's. And he's passionate. You know what I mean? I don't see anybody else going up there. I'm just not offended by Kanye. And like I said, I believe in his intentions and God bless him.
Look, and listen, with what you said about his intentions, like, and his ideas, like I played the good shit that I liked. I didn't say he has all bad ideas. I'm talking about the cooning shit that he was doing.
You're calling it cooning? I think that's just a sincere personality. He was just in a good mood. He's just being happy. You know what I mean? And I think he might actually sincerely love Trump.
So how do you feel about Trump?
How do I feel about Trump? I definitely disagree with a lot of America's policies, but I've always disagreed with a lot of.
So how do you feel about
policies.
Trump specifically? Not America, not the country. Who likes America? No, well, offense, please. If you live in the States, you need to move. Go ahead.
I guess I'm not as outraged, and I'm not as quick to demonize Trump because I've seen it done with other presidents. I feel like a lot of times the media manipulates us to kind of join a narrative. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? So I don't think very much about Trump.
Oh, I wasn't curious if you think about him daily. What
No,
I'm
I'm
trying
just
to
saying,
say. Okay,
I don't,
so then
like,
let's just use that one thing.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Five.
Horrible.
Could you get past that?
Could I get past Trump calling for the death penalty because he believed 5 men raped a woman?
And then were proven, took out the full page ad. They were proven innocent, couldn't even apologize. Could you get past that? But no, I mean,
could I
get
get past Trump not giving the apology?
Yeah. And for everything he did throughout that whole ordeal. Are you past that? Are you okay with that?
Trump's a Republican, and
so just Trump as a man. Are you okay with that? That he did that?
Am I okay with him taking out the ad?
The whole thing, villainizing them, trying to get them killed. He was trying to bring back the death penalty. Are you okay with that? They're proven innocent, no apology, nothing.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Am I expecting Trump to give them an apology?
No, that's not the question.
Of course I'm not expecting
That's not the
Trump
question,
to give him an
Mrs.
apology.
Interviewer. The question is, are you okay with
and
that?
I'm clarifying it. Am I okay with, I mean, from where Trump was and his understanding, if 5 men raped a woman, I understand somebody as a Republican taking out an ad like that. That was his action. Am I expecting him to apologize? I mean, I guess I'm not so quick to villainize him.
Okay, but that wasn't the question. I'm not asking if you expected him to apologize. I'm not asking if you were surprised that he's
I know,
a Republican.
but you're saying he's
asking,
a bad person because he didn't apologize.
No. What I'm asking, so the whole thing, the thing with America is what makes America America, other than all the fuck shit, is their judicial system. Mm-hmm. Innocent until proven guilty. That's obviously not the case in America, clearly. But the point is Trump just seen 5 black people. They did it. No evidence, no nothing. Death penalty, kill them all. Are you okay with that?
I'm not expecting anything different, so I'm not outraged by it.
What color is this? What color is this?
Red.
Okay. She knows how to answer a question. Are you okay with that?
Of course I'm not okay with that.
So then there's the answer. So then how could you be fine with somebody associating themselves with a person like that? Telling them that they love them. You know, Trump wouldn't even rent to black people, right? On the rental applications, the C for color. Like, how could you be okay with somebody who would say, I love that person? It makes no sense.
A lot of times, and this is what's so funny about just this whole group thing. We don't have, it's simple. I respect Kanye's vision. I believe in his intentions, regardless, and that exists separate from what he's saying with Trump. And I wish it wasn't so tied into Trump. And it's that simple.
So
I guess the final answer is I'm not judging Kanye based on his affiliations. My esteem and respect for Kanye has nothing to do with who he chooses to be affiliated with.
So if you have to make a deal with the devil for the greater good, that's okay.
Sure, if that's how you want to say it.
But that is what it is, though. But can you answer that question for me?
I don't think.
Would you make a deal with the devil for the greater good?
I don't think Kanye's legacy or Kanye's work is determined by Trump or who's in power as president.
Okay, so if you have
that just means I don't think he has to make a deal with the devil for any greater good. I believe his work, his idea of what the greater good is going to happen regardless of Trump is in presidency.
Then why do this? Why sit down with Trump? What's the point of that?
I guess because Trump is in power and is currently in a position to make a lot of changes. He saw his wife be effective with Trump. You know what I mean? Trump got people out of jail. So
yeah, Trump likes to fuck with celebrities. I'm not saying that Trump, he's done a few good things, but that doesn't erase all the bad stuff that he's done. You know what I mean? He could hold the door open for my mom tomorrow.
I think
doesn't mean he's the man.
And I think this is exactly what it comes down to: what we choose to erase and what we choose to illuminate. And I feel like a lot of people, I'm not sure why people are so stuck on, despising Kanye and tying him to Trump. He's made, and I mean, I wish he would separate himself from Trump, just so that we could kind of, or people would be more willing to like embrace what he's trying to do more. If he did separate himself from Trump.
You know what? You're right. We would.
Yeah.
We 100% would.
I know, because there's nothing wrong with what he's saying or what he wants to do.
Oh, I mean, some of the stuff that he's saying is out there, but I mean,
okay.
like, but
and
the
this is what I want to address too, because there are some good points. In terms of just some of the stuff that he said that was like cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, and this is going to be controversial, Black people killing each other.
Yeah, so I said, like, why? Why would you say that?
That, and my friend and I were discussing, like, when he would say stuff like that, that's more like stuff that we need to discuss within the Black community before it's discussed.
Thank you.
Like on another level. He's human. He's allowed to make mistakes. He is. And also when we look at just how, when I hear Kanye speak, he's excitable. He's manic. I've been in a position, we've all been in positions, and also it just depends on like how articulate you are too, where you just get excited. There are 1,000 thoughts in your head. You're remembering different conversations that maybe went well, that were successful, that maybe, you felt like you'd said something well. And so he's just throwing all these things,
That's why
God bless Kanye.
That's why he wasn't the right person to be up there.
Okay, but he was up there.
But that's why he should have said no. Listen, listen, and we'll bring it to an end, because we can go back and forth on this all day. I'm not trying to convince you, and you ain't gonna convince me. No. But I will end it with this. To your point about what you just said is, he shouldn't have said that. But sometimes you got all these thoughts and you're excitable and everything like that. Look, when you go and sit down with the president, you're on the world stage.
Yeah.
Whether you want to admit it or not, or whether you signed up for it or not, you're representing us as a community. That's just what it is. It just is what it is. I don't give a shit if you want to say, well, I was just speaking for me. Mm-hmm. No, nigga. You were representing us. So knowing that you're not seasoned, you don't have the track record in this arena, you should have been like, you know what? I would love to meet with Trump. I love Trump, but maybe no cameras. Let me just sit down and talk to him one-on-one. Let's iron some stuff out and properly do it. I'm not saying never do it on camera, but maybe like figure out exactly what your points are that you want made. Yeah. Practice. Don't just jump up there and look stupid and make us look dumb at the same time.
I feel like, had he practiced his points and just been a little bit, just calmer and less excited about the just the whole like event of it, it would have gone smoother. Had he even just had the cameras and just been like better prepared, because he had stuff to say. We saw that he had stuff to say, and it was when he went off on a tangent that it was kind of like, so had he just kind of stuck to his maybe had it been more than just talking points, had it been like just like some talking points and some supporting facts to kind of go with it and just go down the line and like rehearse it like a song.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I just think he should have had it the conversation in private. And
but what is it? Because we're killing him for not being articulate. We're killing him for being there anyways. So like,
and we're also killing him for basically saying, Trump, I wish you were my dad. Like, come on!
You guys
like,
are so sensational. It is hilarious.
There's a lot wrong.
Do not drink.
There's a lot
the
wrong.
Kool-Aid, people.
What Kool-Aid? I'm an intelligent
Everything
person.
you said though has been like from like pure just headlines, like all the headlines that I've been reading.
Which is great. You know why I say that's great?
Yeah,
it's because I formulated my opinion on my own. I watched the interview as it happened.
Okay, good.
And then why I say it's great? is because that means, great minds think alike. What do you want from me? Other people are feeling the exact same, not other people, but most people are feeling the exact same way.
Yeah. I get nervous when I see, like I said, once like CNN and those guys are on the same kind of, agenda. That's when it becomes like,
I know, especially Fox News. When Fox News was calling Kanye West nigger when he fucking did the Taylor Swift thing, and now he's the man, right? He's the man, right?
There you go. Exactly. So it's always up and down in media, for sure.
Listen, man. Sure. Listen. We have to bring it to an end.
Yeah. What's there to say? I guess my final word on Kanye is, God bless you, and I hope that you get more support with everything that you want to do. You know what I mean? And that you're able to maybe step back a bit and let people let the headlines kind of chill and let your work speak for itself.
My final word on Kanye is really for Kim Kardashian. Please slap that motherfucker. Yo, thank you guys again for tuning into another episode of The Ignorance is Free. Make sure you guys like, comment, definitely comment. I want to know what you guys think about the Kanye West and the Trump, meeting. Like, do you think he was cooning? I think he was cooning. I personally think that, he was a little self-righteous with his agenda. I think he, a little bit, like I said, he has some good points, but let me know what you guys think, man. Am I brainwashed? Did I drink the Kool-Aid?
For sure.
Or is she drinking the Kool-Aid out of the brand new Yeezys? I really think she is. Yo, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, man. The Ignorance is Free with a Z, and on Twitter at I'm Chris Green.
Nisa Hott. I'm Nisa Hott. It's Nisa Hott at Hott TV and Nisa Hott on Twitter and IG. Check me out.
We out of here, man. Super nigga Black Powers.
Peace.
Peace.